Okay, next we shall have Mr. Kelvin Na. He is our consultant from SMF CCL. He will be sharing with you on career conversion program and how SMEs can benefit from this program. All right, Kelvin, please go ahead.
Okay, hi, thank you, Lauren, and good afternoon to everyone. I'm Kelvin, the L&D consultant with SMS Center for Corporate Learning. So what I will be touching on next is the new CCP support we offer to local SMEs. Okay, the new career conversion program for SME Executive, or in short, CCP for SME Executive, is a program targeting mid-career switchers, PMETs joining your company and taking on a different job role. Okay, so what exactly is this new program about and how does it help you and your newly hired PMETs? Simply put, we will look at 4 different areas: reskills, acclimatize, adjust, and lastly, the salary support. The CCP helps PMETs to reskill and take on new job roles in SMEs. In addition to that, the company also have to put in place a structured 3-month OJT for the PMET. Okay. Next, the CCP helps PMETs to acclimatize to an SME working environment and acquire necessary foundational skills in various business functional areas such as HR, finance, admin and operations, as well as sales and marketing. For PMET joining from non-SMEs that are the multinational corporation, the MNC, the CCP will help them to actually adjust to the SOPs and the processes in SMEs, which may differ considerably from a non-SME working environment, requiring multitasking and taking on enlarged job scopes. And of course, lastly, this program also benefits SMEs by providing salary support for SME to reskills job seekers in the new job roles. This also enables our SMEs to actually access to a wider pool of job seekers. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so coming on next is the program flow. It is actually very straightforward, and we have actually break it down into 4 stages for your ease of reference. So for stage 1, the pre-workshop, which is also the application stage. So before we enroll, our consultants will actually perform the eligibility check on your company and the newly hired PMET. Okay, so we actually provide advice and also to inform whether or not your new hire actually meets the criteria for the program. So once the application, or rather the enrollment is successful, company will be issued the letter of offer, and that will also lead us to stage 2. Okay, so for stage 2, attending the workshop. So earlier on, I actually mentioned that the company will actually need to put in place a 3-month OJT for your new hire. So to actually complement that effort to reskill, acclimatize, and adjust your new hire, that there is also a 3-day mandatory workshop that the company will need to attend. Okay, so I will touch on the structure of the workshop later on, just in a minute. Okay, so once we complete the workshop and the 3-month OJT by the company, we will move to the both stages of 3 and 4. So as you can see, stage 3, we will gather the necessary claims the documents and submit for approval. And then of course, once approved by the agency, WSG, your company will receive the salary support accordingly. Yep, so that's the whole flow of the program, rather straightforward. Okay, so now let us take a look at the criteria needed for this new CCP for SME Executive. So to allow me to go through each point with you. So what we are looking at over here, that is the eligibility part for your new hire for the PMET. So very firstly, the new hire has to be a Singapore citizen or permanent resident that is keen to take up a full-time career in your company. Okay, they must have graduated or completed national service at least 2 years prior to the point of application, whichever is later. So if in the event, let's say you have a new hire that actually graduated just last year, then of course, unfortunately, that new hire will not qualify for this program. So take note, it has to be 2 years away from graduation or NS completion. All right. So the third point will be the job role that is trained under this CCP should be substantially different from previous job role. Okay, as you're aware, career conversion program. So naturally, we will actually need to see the conversion element. So the role that the PMET is currently taking under your company has to be different from his or her previous job. Okay, so the PMET has to help a similar role previously, but was from a non-SME. So this is the scenario is when a new hire that comes from an MNC and then joining an SME. So they can be a similar role, but of course we will then look into what kind of added new scope of work that this new hire is required to undertake before we can actually consider the conversion element. Okay, and of course, lastly, for the new hire itself, he or she must not be connected to the CCP participating company. So by connection, I mean that the PMET cannot be a relative, a family members of, let's say, the shareholders or even the directors of the company. Okay, they cannot be immediate ex-staff of the participating company as well. So these are the 5 points we will actually need to take note of. All right, so next on will be the eligibility part for SME, that is for the company. So of course, this program is actually meant for SME. So very firstly, company has to be registered or incorporated in Singapore. And by definition of SME, of course, the employment size cannot be more than 200 or annual sales turnover of not more than $100 million. Okay, the company will need to have at least 30% local shareholdings held by a Singapore citizen or Singapore permanent resident. So basically by a local individual. The company must offer a full-time employment with a salary of at least 2007 and above. So in the event, if let's say you are going to offer the new hire a contract job, a contract role, so the contract term has to be at least 12 months and above. Okay, so and same thing as I mentioned earlier on, the company needs to put in place a structured OJT plan for the candidate because there's conversion elements. So we need to see the OJT that you're going to provide to this new hire, how you're going to help him or her to actually take on this new role under your company. Okay, so the last 2 points, right? Commit to CCP training arrangements. So of course, the training arrangement here, we are referring to the 3-day workshop. And of course, committed to work with WSG. So in the event, if let's say the agency or even for us, the appointed provider were to actually seek for some documents, we actually need your assistance to provide them. Okay, so very lastly, we will be looking at the workshop structure. So for the 3-day workshop, right, take note that the first 2 days, which is the day 1 and day 2, we will only require the new hire to attend. Okay, so day 1, the new hire will actually look at how to basically learning techniques to help them to adjust, acclimatize to the new SME working environment. Okay, and of course for day 2, the PMET will actually learn foundational skills, the one that I mentioned, in the area of HR, finance, administrative, sales, and or even marketing. Okay, so this is day 1 and day 2, and for day 3, right, which is the 3rd day of the workshop itself, basically this will be a joint session between the PMETs and the direct supervisor. So meaning to say the PMET and the supervisor actually has to attend this 3rd day together, because what this 3rd day is about basically the interaction, how the supervisor can actually align the work expectation to the new hire, how do they come up with job description, or even setting KPIs and setting the goals for the new hire. So day 3 is very different. Basically the direct supervisor and the new hire will have to attend. All right. So I have come to the end of the CCP program. So we will come to the Q&A sessions where you can actually scan this QR code and it will actually bring you to the CCP website. The website, our website on this new CCP program. So with that, I will pass back to Lorraine.
All right, thank you, Kelvin, for sharing CCP. Please feel free to type out your questions in the chat box and we'll try to answer as much as possible. Okay. Our next speaker is Miss Elsa Chi. She is our Assistant Manager from SMF CCL and she will be sharing on the Skillsfuture Credit. Thank you, Elsa.
Hello, hi. let me move down to the Skillsfuture slides. Yeah. Hi, thank you for joining. If there's any question prior to earlier membership and CCP, feel free to put in the Q&A or chat box. We will address for you shortly. I would like to present for Skillsfuture Credits. As we all may or may not know, there's two types of Skillsfuture Credit. One for enterprise, in short, it's called Skillsfuture Enterprise Credit, SFEC. Another is just Skillsfuture Credit for individuals. For companies who are eligible in the past 2 years, I believe you already received the letter from the relevant agency, and some already signed the email invite you to utilize the Skillsfuture Enterprise Credit. If you do not receive it, means the qualifying period already ends, and there's no action required for you to go and reapply. So it's a 10,000 Skillsfuture Enterprise Credit. Those who join the funded training or relevant program in the past 1 year or 2 years, you might go into your Skillsfuture portal to under the company portal, you can utilize it. But not to worry, if you're not in part of this journey, then probably you can leave it alone, right? So let me bring you to the individual part. What happened to this individual Skillsfuture Credit? Why is relevant to us? You might encourage yourself or your staff or your colleagues to go for skills upgrading, because there's also similarly, there's a grants expiring window. From the first $500, which is already actually is an opening credit for every Singaporeans who are aged 25 years old or above. There's no expiry date for this $500. This is the first $500 issued by SSG, Skillsfuture. You can use it to claim for a wide range of funded costs under Skillsfuture Credit Framework. But there's another top-up come recently. By December 2020, there's $500 one-time top-up. Same thing, you can use it for a wide range of Skillsfuture Credit courses. But this one, you need to pay attention. There's an expiry window. So this $500, it will be expired on 31st December 2025. So those who are wishing to go for training, upskilling, you might try to plan this credits utilization. And there's another $500 top up, especially for mid-careers who are in between 40 years old to 60 years old. This is also additional one-off grant for this special group only. There's also an expired date, which will be ends on 31st December 2025. So would like to actually encourage all these trainees or whoever relevant, you should start to look into it and plan for it. And how's our role here in SMF CCL? How can we help you? We do provide also a wide range of WSU courses under Singapore Workforce Skills Qualification Framework. So these courses, you can if companies have for staff, right, either you can use it for claim under Skillsfuture Enterprise Credit after the funding. If not, if staff are showing very strong interest for self-upgrading, they might also come for us for these courses. We list down some courses which are relevant for manufacturing and related sectors, industries. So on the screen, you may see about 11 WSU courses. We are giving up to 50 to 70% strict upfront funding. So company only need to pay about 30%, right? And this balance 30%, you can also use it for Skillsfuture to offset as well, right? So this is the list. And we have another type of courses, especially offering for FMCG, wholesale trading, manufacturing, companies, logistics, supply chain industries, right? This is also under funded cost, but it's under the EPICS certification program. It is an international renowned certification courses targeting for supply chain professionals or who wish to build on foundational knowledge and concept on supply chain. So after this is done, we will offering the international certification services for people who wish to be certified. So if your business dealing with the international suppliers, vendors, which you need this certification, you might plan to encourage your staff to come to be certified under this EPICS organization. And lastly, we have some courses appear to be very strong demand, such as like technical writing skills, supervisory management skills, effective implementation for digitalization through business modeling, or even some like Incoterm and employer support. These are aroused very strong interest in the past 2 years. And according to this, SMF did an application under Skillsfuture framework, and we get approval. So company or individuals who might wish to use their Skillsfuture credit, they can use it to select courses here. And lastly, we would like to recommend 3 courses in particular to serve the needs under the manufacturing and retail company. The first course we would like to recommend will be 5S. This is a very common and systematic approach that learners can use the incremental and breakthrough improvement for company in the process management and also for the services for customer. So this philosophy, I believe some of you may already heard before, and maybe some of you are also professional in this area, right? So like such as Siri, Sito, Siso, Sikusu, and Shizuki. This in English would be like clear unnecessary items for work area, organize work area in a very orderly manner, clean work area, maintain work area cleanness, maintain self-discipline in the work area. So if you say, actually it's not just for warehousing and manufacturing setting, it commonly can be applied in our daily environment, in working environment. When come to your spring cleaning or yearly, maybe office audit, this can be a very good approach for you to, and it's also very easy to hands-on, right? So we would like to recommend this. Second will be the applied root cause analysis. Same thing, this is also quite a popular and in demand tool to help you identify the problem and collect the relevant information to clarify the problem, analyze the root causes, and suggest action to resolve the problem. So trainees or participants who also can be able to check with the effectiveness of the action taken, whether it works or not, and make the integration to the company's overall management system. So again, as you see, it's not necessarily always for manufacturing or warehousing or plant. For daily job who wish to improve SOP and efficiency, this is one of the very powerful yet very easy to hands-on tools. And my last recommendation will be implement Lean Six Sigma. So same thing, I believe this is a very common concept for all of us, and some of you might be also expert and professional in this area. So the last will be actually is a set of methodology, can combine both traditional Lean and Six Sigma concept to provide the necessary tools to address all aspects of quality, cost, delivery. So Lean Six Sigma is a very powerful approach. It allows company to achieve targeted value more quickly at the lowest possible cost while aligning processes with customers. So if you have an operation team to look after, if you have a company wish to improve quality and reduce costs and achieve better delivery or results, so this is one of the also quite comprehensive tools for you to go and grab. So with this, actually I'm done my sharing, and I will stay here for 1 minute or so. This QR code will lead to our CCL website where you can find a wide range of the courses for you to select to suit your needs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Elsa, for sharing on the Skillsfuture credit and some of the relevant courses that many SME can actually consider, especially like Lean Six Sigma, which is some of the methodology that, as we heard, can be applied by all kinds of industry in their operations to actually lean up and speed up your operation, all this. So it was actually very informative. So last but not least, myself will be sharing on the Sustainability Masterclass. So okay, so Sustainability Masterclass itself is looking towards, I believe most of us has heard of the Green Plan, which is a nation movement to get every Singaporean on board and to get everybody to be motivated to help to grow Singapore into a global city of sustainability, which is actually I would say a global core. I mean, you have heard about carbon credits, all this that is being a buzzword wherever you go. So today we have this Sustainability Masterclass, which actually cost fee is actually at 1,500 before the funding. And due to the popularity of this sustainability buzzword, the government is actually looking towards to fund the cost up to 1,000 for any SME who actually sign up for this course today. And it's actually a 3-day masterclass. What you will actually learn in this 3-day masterclass is, let me share with you. Okay, in this 3 days masterclass itself, right, what you actually will learn, as you can see from the table, there will be actually four stages of this sustainability framework, which is created by SMF and Matcha Initiative, our partner. This is to help company to bring about changing their business to a sustainable framework in terms of going green, especially now with all the changes globally, right? It will be a good time to look at the sustainability framework in your company. And not forgetting now, the government is actually very focused on going green, and also on looking towards creating sustainable framework within the SMEs. So if you have, I believe some of you may have realized that when you try to apply grants, right, then sometimes the government officer will ask you, oh, so in your company, do you have actually a sustainability framework in place? So some of our clients actually come back to us, hey, you all actually have something like that or not? So we have actually come up with this masterclass to cater to this interest, and this something that we think that most of us will actually benefit from it. And how this program works is that at the training itself, the trainer or the mentor will do a sustainability assessment pre-training, and during the training, especially after the day one, right, they also will do a risk and opportunity assessment of your company, and lastly, to do a sustainability roadmap, or should we say the framework, to look into how we can maximize the efficiency in your company while still maintaining a green approach to your business. So who should actually attend this masterclass is actually what we think that is like for the top management who can actually make the decision. For SME, of course, even for MNC, if let's say there is a newly appointed sustainability manager, right, or maybe even for large local company, they have a sustainability manager, they can actually come and join us in this masterclass. And you can actually join us by scanning the QR code below to so that we can know of your interest in this masterclass, and our consultant can get back to you on this masterclass and what are the grants that you can enjoy to actually attend our sustainability masterclass itself. It will be a physical class. It will be a full day, 3-day class itself. Yeah. So I have come to the end of my sharing on the sustainability masterclass itself. So I believe some of the participants may have some question for our presenter earlier, like maybe on the SMF membership, or maybe on the career conversion program, or maybe even say the Skillsfuture Credit, which I think is something many SMEs looking towards to, especially when it comes to upskilling their staff and how they can better subsidize all these courses, which what kind of grants, you know. So you can actually post your question in the chat box, and we can actually address your question one by one. Yeah. Okay, I see a question asking about the, if let's say they actually have a new hire. I think this question is addressed to Kelvin, which is what if let's say I have a existing staff on the traineeship program, can he or she attend the career conversion program? Kelvin, please.
Okay, yep, I got the questions. Okay, so for any new hire that is under the traineeship program, right, which I believe you are referring to programs such as like SG United traineeship, or even the mid-career pathway. while they are on the program itself, they will not be able to take part in our CCP. So let's say if they have completed the program, then we can actually look into applying for them. But that, of course, we will need to look at meeting other criteria such as the conversion element part. Yeah, because usually when you hire the traineeship via the SG United scheme, you're actually training them to take on a role that you would like to offer them. So in a way, rarely there will be any conversion, but in the event, if let's say we are looking at some sort of a career conversion, yes, you can actually bring that up to us and we actually help you to check for the eligibility.
Okay, thank you, Kelvin.
No problem.
So yeah, I think there's a question on the SkillsFuture credit. I think how they can, because previously there is the Enterprise SkillsFuture credit itself. So, but now since last year, this SkillsFuture Enterprise credit has ended. So I think the question is, what if let's say this has ended for courses? What will be some of the courses that like for maybe for a design firm, right? They can take up from SMF to actually help their staff to upskill. The client is a design firm, design SME. I mean in design field. Yeah.
Thank you, Jack. I will take this question for SkillsFuture Enterprise, right, or for individual, for enterprise.
It's actually a SME. They asking if let's say because they heard from you on some of the courses that you recommended, so they think what if let's say they are a design company that they like do interior design, what are some of the suitable courses they can consider?
Sure. Thank you. Allow me to take this question. Generally, all courses under SkillsFuture framework all will be eligible to be applied, right? So generally, we are looking at something like HR or productivity or digitalization. These are the very common areas are encouraged by the agencies, by the SkillsFuture itself, by ESG itself. So companies who wish to look into the improvement or transformation for areas in HR, productivity, or digitalization, they can feel free to take on the courses for themselves or for even for the staff. Under SMF, the whole flagship, right? We do have very strong offering for digitalization courses. Then the rest of courses probably, let's say they are looking for HR or design per se, then we would like to recommend to the relevant schools or centers which are strong in design related courses, which we have to be honestly confess, we do not have design courses. Yeah, but if other areas like digitalization, HR, or productivity, it's our strong core. We'll be more than happy to assist.
Okay, thank you, Elsa.
Yeah, I think there's a question from the floor from Miss Jessie Tan. She's asking if there's any penalty if the staff resign after 3 months. I think this is for CCP questions. Kelvin, would you want to answer that?
Yes, sure. Okay, thanks, Jessica, for your questions. Okay, so the answer is no, there is no penalty if the staff were to resign after 3 months. But then again, of course, you need to take note because the program actually provides salary support. So let's say in the event if we have completed the 3-day workshop and subsequently the new hire were to resign, we will still be able to provide the salary support, but just that the salary support will be prorated to the last day of service. Yeah, correct. So again, there's no penalty if the staff were to resign. Thank you.
Okay, I think there's a question on the SMF membership. So they ask, okay, since SMF is a manufacturing federation, so if let's say they are in say IT services, is the membership something they can consider?
Okay, yeah, thank you for the question. So yes, we also have a category under manufacturing services. So you can still apply, and then we will be able to fit you into the suitable industry group. Yeah. Hope that answers the question.
Okay, thanks, L'Oreal, for the reply. Any more questions from the floor? Okay, there isn't any. Maybe I just pose a question for Kelvin. Okay, say the salary support is for 3 months or for 6 months because of the JGI extension. Maybe you can enlighten in this area as well.
Yes, sure. I will answer that question, Lauren. Okay, so generally for CCP career conversion programs, right, the salary support is up to 6 months. But usually, okay, basically in the past, right, for CCP or even PCP is actually the old term for it, the professional conversion program. The salary support is actually for 3 months. Okay, but because of the introduction of the job growth incentive by IRAS that actually started on this September 2020. So they will actually have to revise the salary support. So instead of 3 months, it has now become 6 months instead. Yeah, correct. So to answer the question, salary support is for 6 months. But in the event, if let's say the staff were to resign before 6 months, then it will be prorated accordingly. But of course, one other criteria we need to take note is that the new hire, or rather the company, has to complete the 3-day mandatory workshop before we can actually apply for the salary support. Hope that answered the questions.
Yes, you did. Thanks,
All
Kelvin.
right.
Yeah, we have another question from Jessie to Kelvin again. For the maximum salary is up to how much, and whether it's the reimbursement on a monthly basis?
Okay, sure. Okay, thank you, Jessica, for the questions. There is no maximum salary that we for this CCP program. However, there is actually a minimum criteria for the salary. The salary offered will have to be at least 2007 and above. For the salary support, because it is actually for 6 months, so we'll be looking at 2 tranches. Each tranche will actually help you to actually apply for 3 months worth of salary support. Yeah, so of course, there are actually more details in terms of like how much you can actually claim per month. There is actually a cap which we can actually share with you in detail. Yeah. Or should I just share it maybe here?
You can share more.
Okay, okay. So I think I will just share over here while you all think of some more questions. Okay, so generally the salary support we are looking at is either 35% or 45% for 6 months. So for the 35%, right, we can actually, there's a cap of $2,000 per month. So the meaning to say the claim amount cannot exceed $2,000 per month, and you will claim for 6 months. So for the 45%, right, the cap is actually at $3,000 per month, and then likewise you will also claim up to 6 months. Yeah. So how to qualify for 45%? So generally for all permanent residents, I mean referring to the PMET, the new hire. So for permanent resident of regardless of age, or for Singaporean, that is below the age of 40, so 39 and below, we will be looking at the 35% here. And for 45%, it is only applicable to Singaporean, age 40 and above. So there's also another way to actually qualify for 45% is if the new hire that you bring on board is a Singaporean below the age of 40, but then this new hire, right, is actually unemployed for the past 6 months prior to joining your company, then we can actually qualify for the 45% as well. But of course, with that being said, we will also need supporting documents like the CPF contribution statement, CPF. So meaning to say there shouldn't be any CPF contribution in the 6 months leading to the join date with your company. Yeah, correct. I think, yeah, that should be all. Any other questions on the program, the CCP, or even the salary support? Please feel free to ask. Thank you.
I think, Kelvin, there's a question on the max salary is up to how much, or the reimbursement itself, is it done monthly? This is a question posed by Jessica.
Okay, as I earlier mentioned, right, that there is no maximum salary, but we will need to take note of the cap that is for the claim amount itself. So for example, if let's say you hire someone at $7,000 per month, okay, and this guy is a Singaporean, age 40 and above, so naturally 45%, right, it will cross the $3,000 cap amount. So the maximum you can claim will be $3,000 per month, And for 6 months, you are looking at theoretically 18,000 for the salary support. So for the payout, right, as I mentioned, it will be in 2 tranches because 6 months. So each tranche we will actually help to apply for 3 months. So if the reimbursement will not be on a monthly basis, so it will be as per tranches. So when we put up after 3 months, when we put up the claims, then the agency referring to WSG, they will actually review and approve. So of course, once they approve and they disperse the fund to us, SMF Center for Corporate Learning will actually transfer or rather credit the amount directly to your company's bank account. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Kelvin. So is there any other question from the floor? Okay, if not, we shall conclude today's webinar. Thank you for your time today for joining us to listen about all the grants, the SMF membership, and some of the program that you can actually take part to upskill your staff in terms of their skill set. So last but not least, if anything, you can contact us by our email. Yeah. So we shall end today's webinar. Thank you all. Yeah.